Hey everyone, it's Jason. I wanted to do a quick little video on Epic Spell Wars storage. So this is currently how I have all of my Epic Spell Wars cards stored. So one hand I have all my Annihilageddon sets, which I made my own little custom dividers. So I had Annihilageddon, Spell Wars, and then whether it's a deck building game, and then same thing for nachos. Apparently I messed up on that one, which I need to fix. On the other half, I have the regular spell crafting. So the top is a set. Next one's the type of the game that I like to put the little indication on there. But right now, so far, this is an Annihilageddon 1, 2, and Gangbangers, plus promo cards down here from the Fantastic Friends. And this is sets 1 through 5 of regular Epic Spell Wizards. So I'm not going to be able to fit set 6 and Annihilageddon 3 in here when they get there. So I've been looking for another storage solution. Obviously, the big one for the spellcrafting game is the tome that comes in the Kickstarter set, which is the Ultimate Tome of Defecation. It's a big giant box. So that was the option. What I decided to go for is, before that was announced, is the DC deck building game, also by Cryptic Zoic, was coming out with their own deck building boxes in their 10th anniversary Injustice campaign. So I ordered an extra one. My thought was, hey, I can move all these cards in here. It's probably going to be just about as much room, and I can see what I can do from there. Now, of course, they have an official Epic Spell Wars one, so I'll end up getting that one as well. And then probably transfers, and maybe I'll keep one game in one in the other, or I'll put both and get two of them and do that. I'm not sure. I'll see kind of how they do, but I wanted to just show how well this would work. Just as another side note, this is how I have all my components for the non-cards, in case you're wondering. So these are nice little trays I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It has a little tiny tray on top. So here I have like my boards, I have my tokens, my dice, ability cards, character standees, and then I can pop this out. And this is why I really like this as a setup. I don't like it 100% because I don't like these cards being loose in here, but I like the idea these come with these different bases. Now, or little cups. Now, just to point out, you buy one of these cases from Hobby Lobby, they're not going to have all these exact cups. I've mixed and matched from different sets. I think there's only, I want to say, I think in this particular set, there's only 4 of these pink ones, and I think there's some big one, and then some smaller ones. But you can utilize them how you want. But what I like about this is I have all my Annihilageddon tokens in here. Now, again, if I had more little pink ones, I probably could have sorted them out from each different set. I have my 3D nachos, my regular nachos. I have my standees in here, just for the board. I just have them on there. But I also like this is because I have my VP tokens, my health, and then my power points. But I can take these out and set these cups off to the side versus having to keep filtering or dumping an extra box out. So that's kind of what I like. Oh, I'm playing with my nacho chips. I can just bring out my nacho chips. And then here's, of course, all of the characters. Now, again, look at how full this is getting compared to the top. Like, I'm running out of room on here, too. So after this Kickstarter, this might not even fit in there as well. So what I'm going to do is see how well they will fit into this box. So to point out here, and sorry for the shaky cam on all this, this box is just shy of 13 by 13. So it's like, it's not quite, it's somewhere between 12 and 3/4 and 13. I don't remember the exact measurements. But a couple of neat things about this is they do have, this side is a little bit lower, so you can put rule books and stuff in there. So you can set a couple of rule books in there. So that's also a neat feature of this. It came with 2 boxes to put stuff in. Now, granted, I'm putting other tokens in here if I was going to. You're not DC. So that's an argument. You can have this way or that way, whatever. It does come with the foam blocks, which are kind of nice. This side here that's bigger is actually a little bit wider. So, like, here's a regular card fitting into this side. And then these are wider for the DC oversized cards. Now, they are not big enough that direction, left or right, for these guys. Because these guys are obviously a lot bigger. But my thought was I could probably put them in this direction. And then put some foam in there to maybe hold them in place. But now I'll see how many I can get in there. Maybe I have to do 2. I'll kind of play with it, see what I can do. And I'll come back. I'm not going to hold it while I refill all these. But also to point out is the deck building, or the box from the Kickstarter, is 14 inches long. So it's about an inch longer than this. But it's only 9.5 wide, which is the length of these 3 columns. So you're getting basically these 3 columns in that box plus an extra inch in there. So that's just one thing to note, that this box has the extra row in here, but the row is wider than regular cards. If you put regular cards, they're going to slide. So I'm going to essentially see if the regular cards will fit in here. If they will, then you have an idea of also how well they'll fit in the other tome, because that box is actually a little bit longer. So alright, I'm going to pause this video, we'll fill this up, and we'll come back. Alright, so I've loaded all my cards up in here. So I had to use different deck dividers. I just used one from the DC game, which came with the box, versus one I had, because these are a little bit more narrow than the other box I had. But you can definitely sell it. So this side's my Annihilation cards. So you can see the first 2 sets plus that basically fill up one side. So, and then these 2 are the other 2 sets. Now, the thing is, I could probably get one more, set of spellcrafting game in here, but it would be super tight. I don't want my cards super tight, so I want to be able to pull some of them out. And then the same thing is, I don't think I'd be able to get all of them in one box, is basically what I'm saying. And if I got the next 2 sets, all the Kickstarter stuff, all that in one box, it would be very tight. But the ideal is here is I could put these guys, so like if I have 3 columns like this in the other set, I'm going to easily be able to put all of these in that tome without an issue and still have room, because this is put a 3rd set here. 3 sets on each, and I'll have a 3rd one for whatever else I need it to have. So if you're just doing spell collecting, you'd definitely be able to put all these in. Now, the other question you might wonder is height. This deck box is just about 5 inches, the other one's 5.5. So these cards will clearly fit just fine. So the other 2 from the Kickstarter set, if you purchase that, you should be able to get all your spellcrafting cards in here. 3, have enough room for probably like even 2 more sets, if you want to, or have 2 columns, for the regular ones, and then have your 3rd column. You can put all your oversized cards from it, so that'll hold all those guys just fine. Then for Annihilation, if you were going to do that as well, the same idea, 1 set for Annihilation 1, 2, set 3 for the next one. You'd still have your 3rd spot open. You could put your oversized cards in. They would definitely fit in the other box, with 1 exception, or 2 exceptions I need to point out. So these are tarot sized cards. Satan's deck has 60 of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's about 6 times as much of these in his deck. So they're not gonna, at least in this one, they don't fit up and down. I don't know if the other sets can have a little bit wider spots or not, but they won't fit in one of these. So you'd have to turn them sideways. So you gotta remember though, if you're playing, now they fit like this. So at this box, you could put 1/2 there, 1/2 Satan's deck. That would work just fine in 1 column. But then you also have his legendary champions, which I think they're 8, which should be the Cryptic Zoic DC card size, if I'm looking at them correct. And again, they won't fit on here either, so they'll have to almost, in this box, they work really nice in there. And you can almost use that as a divider between Satan and his other cards. So there's a possibility there with this DC box. But without having seen the inside of the Epic Spell Wars one, I don't know how well it's all going to fit. Again, you might have set 1, 2 in Gangbanger, set 3, then set 4. You'll just have to put all your other cards in there sideways. Because even with that extra, like I said, this is 5 inches, the other deck is 5.5. But the extra 1/2 inch, now these cards will fit standing up in there, so that's fine there. They'll fit in the new box, but if the thing isn't just, if one of the columns isn't just a little bit wider, they won't fit this way. So you almost have to put them in like that. But, you know, hopefully, again, that set was designed for the spell crafting, not the deck building. So they might not have slots in their set for that. The other thing I did want to mention, even with this one here, is this set is a little bit wider. I can fit about 25 more oversized cards in here, which means when I get all the new stuff, this is going to be pretty darn full. And you can't fit one here, left to right. So that'll definitely be an interesting thing to look at. If I take all of these current ones, if I can get these out, and I put them in here, I'm going to get even less. So that's also another thing just to remember. Now, if you're just doing spell crafting and just the characters from the spell crafting, you didn't buy any of the deck building stuff, you're probably fine. But if you're trying to collect every single character for one game or the other, you're going to have trouble fitting them into one of these boxes. So there's one other thing I do want to show off quick, but I'll have to pause for a sec. Alright, so the last thing I just want to point out for most deck boxes or anything is I typically have been using penny card sleeves. A lot cheaper to buy. I have a lot of card games. A little bit easier. You know, I throw them in there. But as you see on the top, they have a little extra gap. On the side, they have a little extra gap. If you get like more high quality sleeves, these are my tic-tac-toe cards. They are a little bit slimmer overall. I think the left and right, they're about the same, but they're a little bit more rigid. And then, yeah, they're just a tad bit shorter on the side, but then the top is also a decent amount shorter as well. So then when you're putting these in next to official dividers, they actually stay below the text like you're supposed to. Plus they're left to right. So they're not squeezing as much room onto the set. Because once you start adding that little bit of extra and then pushing this one, then this one's pushing this way, it makes some of them tight. So that is just another thing. I'm going to slowly start trying to upgrade all of my cards into better sleeves. It's just not cheap, especially for how many games I have. But I can definitely see the value of them for even just this reason. So I just want to point out, if you do get these, they'll fit in the box a little bit better. And then the last thing, I guess, which is not related to the box, but is my tray. So now that I took all them cards, I have a big giant gap in there. I have other smaller trays that I can fit in here, so I can maybe then separate out my other tokens a little bit better. So if I want to use Gangbanger versus one set versus the other, I can drop them in there. Or if I have to, I can always pull some of these guys out, or put like a tray for the dice and put them in there. Add some of the other characters or component cards from the newer set into these as well. Alright, that's what I got for this. Just wanted to give you guys an idea. Bye.